Why? Italy created Sanremo. In 1945, World War II ended. But for Italy, peace did not mean relief. Cities were bombed, bridges destroyed, railways broken, and nearly every family carried grief. Mothers stood in ration lines, fathers never returned. Children grew up hearing sirens instead of lullabies. For years, Italy had been ruled by Benito Mussolini, the fascist dictator who controlled Italy during the war and used media and culture as propaganda. When his regime collapsed, Italy didn't just lose a ruler, it lost identity, stability, and certainty. Art had been controlled, music had been political, and suddenly there was silence. In 1946, Italians voted to abolish the monarchy and formed the Italian Republic. The country was redefining itself from scratch. Roads could be rebuilt, buildings could be repaired, but a nation's spirit, that was harder. Political tensions divided people, North versus South, Communist versus Christian Democrat. Italy was fragile, wounded, emotionally exhausted. Yet, inside homes, across the country, one object connected everyone: the radio. RAI, Italy's national radio broadcaster, understood something powerful. While politics divided the nation, music could unite it. Meanwhile, in the coastal town of Sanremo, another crisis was unfolding. Before the war, Sanremo was glamorous, a holiday paradise for elites and aristocrats. After the war, hotels were empty, restaurants silent, the famous casino nearly lifeless. Tourism, the town's heartbeat, had collapsed. Sanremo was slowly dying. Local leaders needed revival, not just economic survival, but hope. An idea emerged: create a national song competition and broadcast it across Italy. Not for fame, not for spectacle, but to revive tourism and emotionally reconnect a broken nation. On January 29, 1951, inside the Sanremo Casino, the first edition of the Sanremo Music Festival began. It was modest, 3 singers, 1 orchestra, 1 microphone. But across Italy, families gathered around radios and listened together. One of the performers, Nilla Pizzi, an Italian singer, became the first winner. The songs were gentle romantic ballads, filled with longing, love, quiet hope. Romance dominated the 1950s because it felt safe. Politics had divided Italy, but love did not. For a few hours each night, war memories softened and Italy breathed as one nation again. Slowly, the festival revived Sanremo's tourism. Hotels reopened. The town began living again. More importantly, Italy rediscovered a shared cultural voice. In 1956, inspired directly by Sanremo's format, the Eurovision Song Contest was created. What began as a local healing event became a model for all of Europe. By the 1960s, Italy had changed: economic growth, modern youth culture, social unrest. Sanremo's music evolved too. Songs began carrying deeper emotion and subtle social commentary. In 1967, tragedy struck when Luigi Tenco, an Italian singer-songwriter competing in the festival, was eliminated and later took his own life during the event. The nation was shaken. Sanremo was no longer just entertainment. It became emotionally serious, almost sacred. Through the turbulent 1970s and the glamorous television-driven 1980s, the festival transformed into a grand national spectacle. In the 1990s, it embraced commercial pop, and in the early 2000s, it faced criticism and declining youth interest. But instead of fading, it reinvented itself in the 2010s, welcoming indie, rap, and alternative genres. In 2021, Måneskin, an Italian rock band that first rose to fame through Sanremo, won the festival, then won Eurovision, and brought global attention back to Italy's historic stage. What began in 1951 as a small effort to save a dying town became a global cultural force, born from grief, shaped by change, and sustained by one powerful truth: a wounded country once chose to sing, instead of stay silent.